first of all, the NBA's back. All right, and the Lakers look good. NBA's back, so let's start there. Who's winning the ring this year?
I'm going with the Lakers.
Who do you got them playing in the finals?
I'm gonna go with the Nets, man. Hopefully, it comes down.
Yeah,
it literally just comes down to health.
Yeah.
A healthy Lakers, I think that's finals. A healthy Nets, finals. So, I mean, if we get that finals, dog, this will probably be, from a matchup standpoint, as far as talent, easily the most talent in a finals.
Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.
We have to continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to be 1% better every day, revenue every day. Continue to clock in and buy into that, believe in that. And that's what it's going to take.
That's Jalen Hurts, man. He clocking in.
Yeah, that was a seamless transition, man.
Yes, sir.
I got it. Gotta show love.
Clock in.
The movement's spreading, man.
Clock in.
Whether they know they're part of it or not, it's spreading. You know what I'm saying?
We on our rushing, our grinding, our hustling.
Back at it.
If you clocked in, you're a part of the movement. Like you said, you just don't know it yet. You're gonna find out soon, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, episode 55.
55, man.
Jason Williams.
J-Dub, White Chocolate. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got a good one for y'all, man. As always, appreciate y'all rocking with us. From episode 1, episode 55. Even if you checked out one episode, much appreciated. Spread the word, you like, comment, share. If you told us important in person, you rock with us. Means a lot, man. So appreciate y'all. We're gonna keep it going. Nico in the building.
Yeah. We on our rushing, our grinding, our hustling.
Andrew was good.
I like that. I like the round of applause, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's the one right there.
That's more there, okay.
That's the one.
Shout out to KCQ. She's not with us, but shout out KCQ.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. You already know I'm here.
Yes, sir. I'm here too.
Well, let's get right into it.
I'm here too, bro. I'm always here. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
Yeah. Shout out to Nip.
Neighborhood meal.
Yeah, let's get it, man. It's time.
Yeah. You ready?
It's time.
Yeah.
And we can't forget, man. Shout out to Neighborhood Nip, man. He's with us in spirit. You know what I'm saying? Right now we got Neighborhood Nip.
Shout out to y'all again.
Representing Clock In, man. Shout out to my dad walking around here.
Clock in.
Shout out to y'all, man. Like, once again, shout out to y'all. Yeah, I like this vibe, man. I like this is different.
Yeah, you know how we do, man. You know we like to start off with a vibe. Something slight. Some slizzite.
Yeah, that transition from the Jalen Hurts drop to the beat.
I mean, I'm clocking in.
What was the rating? What was that?
In the work.
What would you
putting in the work, man?
Okay, yeah, he got the
That's all I need.
He got the Chuck Norris dodgeball thumbs up.
That's all I need, man.
So I gotta figure out how I can contribute to the pot of the talking.
Hey, look, man.
I got
y'all got a lane to stay in.
Yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta get a new talent, man. I gotta get a new talent, man. I feel like, I'm getting left behind, man. So we'll see. But yeah, episode 55, man. This season, I feel like it's flown by. We have 5 episodes left in season 3. Those of you who don't know, Marshall Hamilton here, co-host of Clocking the Podcast.
Federico.
Yep. AKA Federico.
Sure. Austin Hamilton here, co-host, AKA Amen.
Amen. Well, let's get right into the segments, brother.
Amen.
Yes, sir. We here, man.
Yeah, man.
5 of them things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like you said earlier, man, like everyone who supported everybody who showed love, directly, indirectly, everyone who's, donated some bread, subscribed, and honestly, listen to some of this is what I'm more concerned about, what I'm hopefully more proud of, assuming that it happened. If you took some of the stuff that we talked about and it added value to you and you applied it, that's the biggest kudos to me.
No,
I don't, because that's what this is about, right? Like, we like to have fun. We like to, joke around, but we really want to add value, right? That's what it comes down to. So if we added value and you applied it, and then, especially in a way that served other people and then they could apply it, that's really how the Clock In message and movement, grows exponentially. And that's what we want to do, man, because right now we're in a time where clocking in really it's not a message that is being promoted out there. A lot of it is, how to get to a certain goal or from point A to point B through a shortcut, right? Whether it's weight loss, whether it's how you make money, relationships, like whatever. People aren't really talking about what it really takes. So hopefully you get that from here. That's our goal. But I'm excited about this episode, man. A lot happened this week. And the first thing I want to rap about is the crash, man, of Instagram and Facebook. It was a wake-up call for a lot of people, man, including myself. And I actually saw a trainer named David Alexander. He trains a lot of professional athletes, Vic Oladipo, Dwayne Wade, John Wall. I kind of compare him, to like the still in the 21st century. That's like 22nd.
Wait.
The 20, whatever decade we're in, like Tim Grover in a way, as far as how athletes go to him or whatever.
For those of you who don't know, Tim Grover is trained Michael Jordan, Kobe, Wade. I think he trained Russell Wilson like most recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been in the game for a while.
And he's probably trained dozens of other people we know that he just hasn't disclosed.
Yeah, but more famous for Jordan and their relationship.
Right, exactly. So David Alexander posted, if your brand is only tied to social media and that's the only way you're adding value or people know about you, then this shows like you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. Right? And he was talking more so from a like personal athletic trainer perspective. But to me, that applies to us all. And then just from like a personal consumption perspective, like, yeah, man, like people, if you were freaking out, to me, I don't know, man, that's a sign that maybe you're a little bit too attached.
Something's off. Yeah, something's off.
So what's y'all's take on, the whole crash? I'll start with this. How did it affect y'all?
I didn't even find out till I've taken steps to like minimize my social media use because what I do, I'd be on it all the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize till midway through the day, I hit up Katie and I was like, "Is your Facebook being weird?" And she was like, "Yeah." She saw it on Twitter.
Yep. And
then told me, but I didn't even notice for a little while.
Yeah, the first thing that I do if apps aren't refreshing, I'll go to Twitter and I'll just type Instagram, and then once you search that, you'll see like, all right, Instagram's down. Everybody's having the same issue. But for me, I was like, all right, I'm just keep it moving. It was during the workday, so
Right.
I had stuff to do, but I liked it, man. It was refreshing because we talked about this. You know, within this movement, we get a lot of notifications, right? Whether it's on the Clock In page or personal with people tagging and clocking in, and it's draining.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So, yeah, it felt good to just phone not be buzzing all the time, and you know, not having that, you know, that that desire to just look at your phone and all right, check something. So yeah, I enjoyed it, honestly. I just literally got the notification from my phone that said like my screen time was down like 25%.
Right.
So yeah, it was, for me personally, it didn't affect me. I know it affected some other people, which I mean we can get into, but yeah, it's. I always try to think like, all right, what are the underlying like themes when this type of stuff happens, and you really get to see people's priorities and you know, the residual effect of it. But it's just like, is this really that important? Like, if we didn't have social media, life would still go on. It'd still go on.
It would probably be better. No, there's no probably. It
would be better
for everybody's
mental
health and their ability to connect with one another. Bro, take away social media, and you take away people's avenues to argue. For like, I'm talking about like the random people who don't know each other who just argue in comments. You take away information being thrown at you that may or may not be true, right? Because we don't
it's
watch
usually
the news.
Not true.
We don't watch the news, right? That we, you know, as millennials, we go to social media, right? So it really would make sure that we're really thinking for ourselves, right? We're not letting social media think for us. Even like from like a spending perspective, dog. Like the ads that are populating on your feed that most people have been guilty of. Oh, I'm just gonna see what this is. Oh man, I want this.
And it's personalized.
And then you buy it, and you probably wouldn't have bought it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, this isn't social media. Isn't about us. There's a 2-hour long Netflix documentary where the people who made it were literally like, I don't really like the direction this is going, and the purpose was for it to unify people, not divide. Right now, what I was going to touch on when you said, you know, is it that much of a priority for some of these people? Here's what I'm finding, right? The people who aren't really adding value to other people on social media or in real life, they're the ones who are complaining the most. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, it took away an avenue for people to just complain.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it, like the people that actually, like Andrew, for example, right? Andrew's an entrepreneur, and he's busy. He's not focused on social media because he's actually doing something.
I got Sprint. I just thought I had bad service. I swear.
Hey, Sprint. I got Sprint too, man. Sprint.
It's not working right now.
Sprint isn't
right.
What else I had to do?
Sprint isn't the best, man. I'll keep it a buck with you.
It got better since the T-Mobile merger, but
yeah,
I really I was like, dang, I guess.
Yeah, I kept refreshing.
It wasn't about Instagram to me. It was like Sprint's not working.
Well, I knew something was up when Facebook wasn't working too.
Yeah.
That's when I was like,
Twitter.
Yeah,
that's odd.
Because after an hour, I'm like, oh, okay, it's still not working. Like, let me just check that it's not Sprint. So that's why I went on Twitter and it was like, yeah, Instagram's down. But another thing that, at least for me, I went straight to the stock price because, you know, I'm trying to shift my thinking that way. Because, you know, when situations like this occur, it's a good time to buy, especially a, you know, entity like Facebook. But it didn't go down enough for, at least for me, to buy some stock in it. But yeah, that was probably like the first thing that came to mind for me.
Yeah, that's growth, man.
Facebook's down. That stock price is going down. Yeah, this could be a good time to get in. But yeah, it didn't fall as much as I think I would like it to.
Yeah, how about you, man? Like, what was your take? How did it affect you, or how did it not affect you?
It happened midweek, right?
Yeah.
See, that's how you know it didn't affect him.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, that's how you know. He Friday was just like whatever.
Well, I think for me it was like going back to 2009, and I just went on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter was popping.
It was.
Yeah, man.
Twitter, mad fun on Twitter, and
Twitter
just making fun of the other networks. So it was kind of funny. But
yeah.
It made me realize, like if you don't have your own website, you aren't doing enough for your brand anyway. If you only got your brand in one spot, you're held captive.
Yep.
That's a great point because Grusselnomics, man.
We on our Grussel, our grinding, our hustle.
Who just don't have social media, and it's like, here's the other thing I sent you actually. The guy, I think his IG name is Sleepers for Suckers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and actually, I think this was before the whole thing went down. But he was like, "Look, this is how you know who your true supporters are. If you had a live event, how many people would show up? Like as a brand, like if you had a live event, how many people would show up to that event? And
it's a good indicator.
Honestly, man, this is just getting me thinking, because we I'm not saying we've gotten caught up into it, but it's obviously a metric that we track and stuff like that. I think we have more people that would support us and come who aren't even like listening to the pod and following us on social media than people who are, watching us and looking at our stories and all that. Just because of I think how we are as people. I think people would just show love.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, people initially show love because of us as people, right?
Like, it's a testament to our parents and the people and our church family and coaches. I mean, and we're not perfect, but
anyone who's tapped in to the podcast or even the movement, it's like, oh, like Marshall and Austin, yeah, I'll give them a follow. I'll share, I'll take a listen. That doesn't happen if we're just some jerks out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they don't believe that we're just blowing smoke and talking about certain stuff because it's not us. No, that's not the case. I think any brand that's been built successfully and has a certain following, I mean, there's an affinity towards that person or the brand that's believable.
Right.
It's believable, right? So, yeah, I mean, you'll know who really rocks with you, based on certain words that, are given to you or the people that share, that are willing to share.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I mean, it's about the people. It's about the people at the end of the day. And if you continue to put that at the forefront, things will come into fruition, man. There's no secret formula to it, right? It's just what can you do for the people,
right? And
if you're adding value, you're providing value, you'll get to wherever you want to get to,
Do you think this kind of gets rid of the notion that people that have certain brands or movements that aren't on social media? Do you think this proves that you don't really need social media? Because I know some people who are like, man, like and they're actually doing well, and they're like, I need to get on social media, or I need to be more active on my social media. Or do you think that there still needs to be like a balance of doing the stuff that you were doing outside of social media, but also making sure like you're at least in tune?
Yeah, I think you should always be in tune, especially when it's just another layer of exposure, right? Like,
yeah, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're only hurting yourself. You could be the best person in your craft, and you probably are successful, but like, I mean, by you tapping into social media, it can only blow up even more. So yeah, I think there's a balance of it. But yeah, if you don't have a social media, you have a business or a brand, you're behind. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
But I mean, you don't have to be super in tune with it. But like Eric said, like,
you got to make the content. You can't let the content be all that you are.
Exactly.
Because once that goes away, you're nobody.
Yeah.
That's what people found out.
Yep. No, that's a fact. And I will say this. I think if you're looking to get more active or you're starting a social media, I think you need to be careful for a couple of reasons. I think it's easy to start looking at what other people are doing and start to think, oh, maybe I should start doing that. But really, you need to just keep doing what you're doing. So you got to be careful about falling into the comparison game. And like you said, it can't become who you are. That can't be your number one source.
Can't let it consume you.
It's just another avenue to promote and add value. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, man.
Clock In family, Aham here. Appreciate you all for making it this far into the episode. If you enjoy our content, we've got something special for you. Check out patreon.com/clockin or download the Patreon app that's spelled Patreon and search Clock In the Podcast. You'll have a chance to become a subscriber of the podcast for access to bonus episodes, merchandise discounts, and much more, only at $5.10 a month. The link is also in the podcast description. All right, I'll shut up now and let y'all get back to it. Peace.
Another interesting thing that's been going on for the last, probably a couple months with the NBA. First of all, the NBA's back. All right, and the Lakers look good. NBA's back, so let's start there. Who's winning the ring this year?
I'm going with the Lakers.
Who do you got them playing in the finals?
I'm gonna go with the Nets, man. Hopefully,
the East
it comes down.
Yeah,
it literally just comes down to health.
Yeah.
A healthy Lakers, I think that's finals. A healthy Nets, finals. So, I mean, if we get that finals, dog, this will probably be, from a matchup standpoint, as far as talent, easily the most talent in a finals.
We'll have
to get into that.
It'll be the 2012 All-Star game over again.
Literally.
Pretty much, yeah.
Literally. Well, the USA team, dog.
Yeah,
Russ, Harden, KD, Melo, Bron, AD. AD was fresh into he wasn't even in the league yet.
Did Russ play in the Olympics? I know he played in the FIBA, but Russ.
He played in I was literally just watching it the other day.
JaVale McGee, wasn't JaVale McGee?
Nah, they had Tyson Chandler.
I thought they added him. I think they added JaVale McGee this Olympics.
They did, yeah.
You're talking about the 2012.
Yeah, I'm talking about 2012.
Yeah,
there's literally like 6 or 7 Olympians.
Yep.
That could be in that finals.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I like LA.
Keep forgetting LaMarcus Aldridge is back on the Nets.
Yeah,
I can't stand.
No, they're freaking. They're loaded. Is Blake Griffin still there?
Yeah, they lost DeAndre Jordan to the Lakers,
which is a great pickup. It's going to be exciting, man. I think people are sleeping on the Lakers supporting cast. Like that. Is it Kendrick Nunn?
Kendrick Nunn. Malik
Great
Monk,
pickup. Malik
Morton
Monk.
Tucker. Rondo.
Who's the guy who replaced Kuzma?
Ariza. Wayne Ellington.
Malik Monk, he's like a baby J.R. Smith.
They didn't. I don't think they traded. They didn't trade Kuzma for anybody. They just. So when you say replace, you mean like position wise?
Yeah.
Technically it's Melo.
Yeah.
Technically it would be Melo.
Melo's
They're a 3/4.
Melo's a bucket, dog. He's a freaking.
Melo can play. He can play 2.
I was watching randomly on YouTube. An interview came up, but he's got to be one of the most unappreciated like basketball players of all time.
Is he coming off the bench?
Yeah.
So you got Russ. They're probably going to start Wayne Ellington for shooting. Bron, AD, and then either Melo or it depends if AD, because AD doesn't want to play the 5.
I think he said he's gonna play the 5.
So if he plays the 5, then it has to be Melo. If he doesn't, if he plays the 4, then
they might start.
Then they're probably going to start like DeAndre Jordan at the 5. To me,
Kent Bazemore's on the team too.
Forgot about Kent. To me, it should be
ODU, man.
Yeah, shout out to ODU, man. To me, it should be based on matchups, like of who they're playing. There may be games, and that's the thing about this team. They can go small, they can go big. They could go LeBron if they wanted to. They could go Russ, Bron, Melo, AD.
This dude, Bron.
DeAndre.
This dude, Bron, could play.
Everybody's 6'7" and above except for Russ.
Smaller than that. Throw Ellington.
No, I said that'd be big.
The big squad.
Yeah, that'd be the big squad.
I was going back to watching 2012.
He's not coming out the starting lineup.
Dog, LeBron was playing like the 5 in that Olympics to a certain extent. Like he could literally play if he wanted to. He could play till like he's 40 something, dog. Like
he just have to change positions.
Yeah.
Vince?
Huh?
You think he'll play longer than Vince?
He can if he wants to.
I think he wants to play when his son can play in the NBA.
Yeah, I think that's a story.
Which is like kind of soon.
Wants to see.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about.
I think LeBron plays like I think he loves basketball so much and like you know what it'd be hard for me to see him retiring just like and plus he's still like dumb athletic, dog, and he's found that balance between like how to manage an 82 game season and take care of his body. Because Bron don't freaking play hard every game. He doesn't. I don't blame him because he didn't have to. Because he's one of the smartest guys in the freaking league, so he can play until he's like 45. So, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I think the Lakers Nets. That's my pick. The Suns, they had a good run, but again, due to health, you know, they're fortunate to get there. But yeah, I like the Lakers, man. Bron gets number 5, and you know, he's 1 ring short of the GOAT.
You mean he's gonna tie the GOAT?
Jordan has 5 rings.
I'm not talking about Jordan.
Who do you have, man? Who do you have?
I got the Lakers winning it, but I think the NBA is the most balanced as it's ever been. Like every team has somebody who's a legit all-star or has an all-star potential. So to me, I don't think the Lakers are gonna win like 70 games. I think they'll win like 59, 58 games. I think that'll be enough to get them to like the 2 seed. I don't think they care about being the 1 seed.
Those practices, I would love to be on that team.
I just
like,
want to watch,
as a like rookie, because you're not going hard in practice. You got 12 year. The average year of vets is like 10 years.
Yeah, it's basically.
You're not going hard in practice. You're just getting shots up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting though.
It will be. The East.
Can
I
Giannis
just
do it
don't.
again?
I don't know.
Shout
man.
out to my guy Elijah and Zora. Elijah had like 21 preseason games.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was cooking.
Elijah's tough, man.
He was cooking. We're gonna get him on the pod. Yeah, man. I would love to see him get some time this year with them.
He can do it. It's the way the NBA is going. To me, he's a great one-on-one player.
Yeah,
and he's 6'5", and he has
strong.
He's strong. He can shoot it. So, I mean, I think it's possible. But
he wouldn't be there on the team if they didn't think he could do it.
Nah. I don't know, man. Like you said, health is what to me gave the Bucks a chance. You got the Nets,
Bucks. And who knows what's gonna happen with Philly?
I don't trust Philly. They're done. I don't trust Philly. I don't trust anyone whose big man is their best player.
Watch out for the Heat.
Watch out for the Bulls, dog.
No,
not for the finals.
Not yet.
Not for the finals.
Nah, not yet. They
got to make the playoffs.
I like them. They're
the
young.
Bulls. They got DeMar.
But yeah, watch out for the Heat again. I mean, Lowry, it's a good pickup.
What about the Dubs, man?
The who?
The Warriors.
Yeah.
Is Clay coming back?
I think they're back. I think they're back. But I'll say this: if the young boy Wiseman, if he can take that leap, they'll be all right.
You know who's cold, and I've been saying this since
Poole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole's a real deal.
Nah, he's a bucket.
He's a real deal.
He's a bucket. But yeah, I'm excited to see them back, man, because there's nothing. And did you ever go to any games at Oracle? There's nothing like that. I wish I could experience that, man.
I saw him put up 51 on the Wizards in 3 quarters. I seen James Harden get his eye poked out
by Draymond.
Yup, and I went to
Draymond just kicked. He just kicked
two that remember.
How loud does it get? Like when they go on those runs?
It's ridiculous. And mind you, it's only 200 level sections, 100, 200.
Wow.
So it's like it don't matter where you sit in that.
You got a good view.
Good, yeah. Like it's
That's at the old stadium.
That's at Oracle. Yeah, I haven't been to that one.
Yeah, I gotta hit up. I need some tickets.
Facts.
The new one's probably ridiculous.
Yeah, but I them games at Oracle, man. Like third quarter, something was gonna happen third quarter.
I'm like, I'm hyped. I'm about to see Curry, set the record for points.
Yeah.
Bruh sat the whole fourth quarter. 51.
I mean, they were just mauling teams like that. They didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. Like their runs were some of the most impressive things that I've ever seen. Like I'm talking like the third quarter, it was just it was set in stone. They could go for 30-2 run,
and you know it's coming. You literally know it's coming.
There's nothing you could do about it.
I was sick because KD's my favorite player since Kobe retired, and
RIP Kobe.
Yeah, RIP, man. And they were playing against OKC when KD was on the team. And I think this was in the regular season. We were watching the game, and we were at C's house, actually.
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that. I knew it was going in.
The Thunder tricked a 8-point lead with 2 minutes left. They missed a shot. They were down. I think the Warriors were down, either down 2 or it was tied or something. Russ turned the ball over or did something. He did some Russ stuff. And Curry, calmly dribbles cross half court, takes about 3 steps across, pulls a 3, and I knew it was over.
As soon as you got the ball, you knew it was over.
I knew it was over.
And everything freezes when he shoots.
Seriously.
He shoots and everything is just
yeah.
And then it just goes nuts.
Yeah, when you draw, when you're you're that good of a shooter when you just draw that attention, but literally everyone on the opposition is just worried. Literally they're oh crap, what's about to happen? It's probably equivalent to when Aaron Rodgers or Brady in the fourth quarter have too much time on the clock.
Yeah, 2-minute drill.
It's like
you know what's going on, and you know you feel that way because even if you win, you feel like you escaped.
Yeah, like when Jordan, like y'all watched The Last Dance, when they're playing against the Pacers, I think Reggie hit a three or something, and the camera shifts to Larry Bird, who was the head coach at the time, and Larry Bird's just like, there's too much time on the clock, and I'm playing against Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So he literally was just like, I'm not confident right now because they have the black cat on the other side.
Right.
And what happens? Jordan gets a look, and that joint goes in and out. Luckily, they won the game, but yeah, they escaped.
Yeah.
But that has to be the feeling when Steph, literally, when he has the ball, it's like, all right, man, what's about to happen?
Right. Yeah, let's just for the sake of time.
Excited.
Yeah, I got Lakers. I don't know who's coming out the East though. Vaccine mandates, and then we'll get into some main topics and wrap up.
Hey guys, thanks for clocking in with us and making it this far into the episode. We want to continue these episodes for as long as possible, but we might need your help. If you click on the description on each episode, you'll find a link that reads support this podcast. If you enjoy keeping up with us, click on that link and you can make a monthly donation. All right, you guys hear enough of me talking anyways, so let's get back into the episode.
I mean, you know how I feel about it in general, like for the general public, right? I'm just not a believer in basically putting people in a position where they have to do something that in other circumstances they normally wouldn't have to do. They would have a choice. I'm not here to argue about the science and all that stuff. Like that's not. But I do know what common sense is. Right. Yeah. Now, when it comes to messing with people's money, that's when I'm really starting to have a problem. Right. Like Kyrie, he's been on the record for, being rebellious and kind of saying some wild stuff that I didn't agree with. But this one, I'm with him, man. I'm with him. So, for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving, NBA All-Star, he hasn't gotten vaccinated. And he doesn't plan on it. And in New York, where the team is, and I think it's an NBA mandate now, if he doesn't get vaccinated, he's going to miss like half the season.
Yeah, he can't play home games.
And I would imagine if he does that throughout the playoffs, like he's not going to be able to play in every game in the playoffs. That was a little Maybach music, Maybach music. That's all it was. That's about to be a drop. Little Maybach music. That's all that was. So, to me, this is a cause worse. Like, all right, it's bigger than money, and it's bigger than me. This is about freedom, man. And I'm just, I can't get behind that, man. Especially with athletes, like they know what's best for their body. And there are NBA players who have gotten vaccinated, like Chris Paul, back in I think he got vaccinated in February. He got COVID in the right before the finals.
Yeah, that's where I, am conflicted. It's like, I mean, I just feel like we don't know enough yet, and it's still not a guarantee. It's not, given the use case you just gave us. Like, he was vaccinated. I mean, there's been plenty of people that's been vaccinated, and they still got it.
I know someone.
No, you can have a vaccine and still, it doesn't protect you against getting it. It protects you against dying from it.
Or it doesn't protect you from spreading it either.
Allegedly.
You take medicine to feel better yourself. Like, if you got a cold and you take Tylenol, you can still give me a cold.
Right.
Exactly.
Again, it's just common sense.
It's common sense.
It's just common sense.
And the CDC says on their website there's still research being done on whether or not the vaccine can prevent it being spread, but we don't know yet. So all this marketing, all this hoopla about stop the spread, it isn't going to stop the spread. It isn't.
It's no different than the flu. Like, you can still get the flu. You can still get the flu.
And I don't think I've ever gotten the flu shot in my life.
I don't know if I can't remember.
Because it's a shot you have to get every year.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was walking out of a grocery store and they were giving away free flu shots. And she was like, no, I'm good. And then the woman was like, well, if you don't mind me asking, why? What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But that's where we're at as a society. So,
what would you have said in that situation?
If it were me?
Yeah. Would you have gone off?
I definitely would have made a face like...
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, excuse me? Who are you?
Are you a HIPAA lawyer?
Yeah, like, who are you?
That's what I would have asked.
Why are you... Am I asking you why you're getting it? No.
Yeah, man.
So how do you feel about the NBA's stance and Kyrie's stance, on what's going on?
I mean, I certainly don't agree with... well, isn't it state by state, though? Like, because if you're not vaccinated in Utah, you can still play, right?
I believe
I don't think the NBA like mandated it.
All right, I need to backtrack that. Some teams have mandated it. Some teams have mandated it.
Okay, I thought it was just because Oakland, it's state rule or state law in New York. I didn't know. I don't know if teams mandated it or not. I'm not.
No, it's not a state law for you to be like, if you're in California and you're not vaccinated as a regular individual, they can't do anything about it, right?
I think the CDC said something about employers with more than 100 employees.
Yeah.
And
it's subjected to that area.
They made it a punishment. They fined you.
Right.
They're gonna fine you every week if you have more than 150 employees in your company.
Yeah.
We're gonna fine you up to $14,000, $15,000 per person who's not vaccinated, or you send them to go get a test.
Right. Regardless, I'm not a fan of it. Kyrie, it's tough, man, because he has his own personal beliefs, as he should. Like, I mean, we're in America. You have your own rights, but I mean, you're gonna lose money. You're not gonna play in every game. So for him, he's got to do the research behind it to say, all right, if I get this, what will happen? And I'm vaccinated, right? Like, my personal choice was, I mean, it's not going to kill me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not going to kill me. So, it was a personal choice, and yeah, I understand the kind of rejection behind it, but at the end of the day, again, what's bigger picture, right? Like, financially, he's fine, but here's the thing: vaccinated or not, you can still be on the side of, we have our personal freedom. You can still be on that side, which I am.
I know a ton of vaccinated people who are against mandates.
Yeah, which is me. So, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, dog, get vaccinated. You'll be fine. You're not gonna die. But still be on that side of, this shouldn't be a personal mandate. It's a personal choice.
To me, get vaccinated if you want to get vaccinated. I'm not going to get vaccinated because it's not about will I be fine or not. Because here's what's happening, and you're already seeing it with a lot of movements. they're trying to they're trying to bully people into doing something. That's what it is.
Again, which
they're trying to bully people into doing something. So if you're gonna do it, do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because.
Or you have to.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if you have to do it to make a living,
and that's my whole point.
You have a choice.
We're not there yet, but that's where it's going.
Yeah, that's exactly where it's
going.
I mean, you have a choice to either say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to find another way to make it work, or you just have to take the L.
Yeah,
and you just got to take the L.
But I'm not going to say that taking the L is the right decision because I don't think it's the right decision for everybody.
Yeah, it isn't.
And I'm telling you, like it's gonna. This thing is not. This is bigger than just the vaccine, and that's my point. It's about control.
What would make you get it? That's what I ask my friends. Like, what? I don't know what would make me get it.
If they could say, and if they could show that me getting vaccinated is going to prevent me from spreading it to another human being that could get the effects of it and pass away or be damaged long term, I would highly consider it.
I think that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, does the
I think that's just a
No.
catch-all, like, I want the best or I don't want it at all.
Exactly.
Well, it's not the best, but that's what they're saying. That's why they're saying you should get it. That's why they're saying you should get it.
You could have symptoms of another illness, like what they have prescription drugs for, and you can choose to live that way, or you can live to succumb to the side effects and all that stuff. It's your personal choice, but how do you want to live?
Yeah, well, I'm saying to answer his question, it was what would make me consider it. Well, not everyone. A lot of people who are for it and are for the mandates are saying stop the spread, protect each other, do all these things. That is to me that's misinformation, because to Eric's point, and like I've said before, the getting vaccinated is about your own personal health. It doesn't matter what the vaccine is, right? It's not about keeping you from spreading something. So if I think that I will be okay without it and my antibodies will be able to fight viruses like it normally can, I'm not going to get it. Now, if you say, all right, there's proof that getting this vaccine is going to prevent you from spreading it to your mom or someone who's elderly or someone who's in a worse situation, then I would highly consider it, because then it's not about me, right? Not about me. It is truly about not passing it to somebody else. But there's no proof of that. So that's like saying to somebody, and this is it's a little bit different, but look, everybody, you have to go on this diet to be healthy, right? Like we're only serving this food because this is what you need to be a healthy person. Whether it works for you or not, this is what everybody has to eat, right? Because it's about health, and that's what they're making this about. They're making it about health.
I look at it like schools, man. Everybody in this room went to public school, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
When you guys have a child, your child gets vaccinated, or they have it's like 200 shots before they turn age 2. Why doesn't everybody speak about all of those? It's because it works. It's proven. It's something that over time, I think people are apprehensive about getting the vaccine because there's no time behind. There's no track record.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
what they're afraid.
Exactly. The other stuff like polio.
That over dying.
Exactly.
Right.
The polio stuff, like the polio vaccine, it's shown that it works.
But you're not everybody who gets COVID dies.
Right.
It's a very small percentage.
Very small.
Very, very, very small percentage of people who die.
Yeah.
It's percentage of the whole, but it's still a lot of people, bruh. It's still 1 out of 500 people die. Everyone in this room knows someone who died from COVID. Right?
I don't know anyone who's died from COVID.
And that's the misconception.
I don't
people
personally.
who have died from,
I don't think so.
Whatever the case it may be, because we're in this pandemic, they have to label it as they had COVID. That doesn't mean they died because they had COVID.
No, you're saying the specifics. Did you die of this as a direct cause?
Exactly, and that's
Did you
where
have health issues before.
that's where the disparity is.
And who
They have to label it because they may have had a COVID symptom or something. They tested positive. Oh, that's a COVID death.
When you
But
die,
that's not the case.
When you die, who writes the cause of death? Not the family. It's medical professionals.
It's the same people.
It's the same people.
That's what really trips people out.
It's the same people.
So, again, it's a very, very small percentage of like literally from COVID they passed away.
Yeah.
Very, very small percentage.
There was more deaths from the freaking what was it? What was the last thing that we had? Not the swine flu. Swine.
I think it was the swine
flu. Yeah, there was more deaths from that.
Ebola.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm not to harp on that. Let's get this
more deaths than COVID.
Percentage wise, yes.
From
I don't think so.
You're saying people who got infected, dying
at a higher rate.
I can see that.
At a higher rate.
I could see that. Like if 100 people got COVID and 100 people got the swine flu, more people would have died.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that number being accurate. Yeah.
I've seen
it's more contagious.
I've seen
than everything else.
I've seen like car accident death. They swipe them. Oh, there's a positive test. You died from COVID. No, like that's Jessica's aunt, who is in the police force. She's seen that. Like, there's data that shows that. Well, no, it was a car accident, but there might have been a COVID positive test. So now
you fell asleep because you got COVID.
But now that data shows, we're tallying that as a COVID.
The data
death.
You could be in an
manipulated.
accident and have COVID. Yeah, I think those things can intersect.
But that's where
I can have
that's where
be
the
in an accident and
Right.
cancer didn't kill me.
No. I think
The
that's
car
just
accident
all in
killed me.
perspective.
but that's where the data is flawed.
No, we're
Is
talking
what
about
I'm-
the data.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That
the
the data
data.
is flawed.
The data.
It's very flawed.
Well, we can't fact check it, so we can't say it's flawed. That's what I'm saying. We can't really. You can't.
I just gave you
pinpoint it.
I just gave you one though.
But
Again,
you
but-
don't work at the morgue. You don't work here. You can't determine a cause of death. You're not a mortuary scientist.
So you're saying if someone gets in an accident with COVID, a car accident, and they die in the car accident, COVID killed them?
No, I'm saying those two things can happen at the same time, but they're not a direct cause and effect.
There's no one who's
It's
died.
just one
There's
thing
no
to
one
say.
who's died instantly from COVID.
But
It's not a heart attack.
And that's what I'm saying. The data is
You
it's
just
skewed
need more
because
data. You need more data to narrow it down
Yeah.
to support the stance you're saying.
So if you don't have
That's what my thing is also about this vaccine is people are supporting their choice to get the vaccine based on their confirmation bias. They're only researching things that support
facts.
what they believe.
Facts.
Whether you're for
and
the mandate
what's given
or
to
not
them.
for the mandate.
Yeah, and what's given to them, and that's by the media, because we all know the media is to cause fear. So when you see a
I
number,
think it's spoon fed to us. I think anybody can look up anything they want. You
but
don't have to
but
succumb to
majority of people do not.
There is.
They do not. They rely on social media, Fox 5, CBS,
Okay.
for their information.
Well, this is the next thing I'm going to talk about: censorship. Eric, you can see on social media and other sites anything that questions the validity of the vaccine, and a lot of it is factual information. Anything that can discredit that the vaccine is something worth getting for you, it's censored. It's censored. Information about the vaccine that isn't necessarily true or not, right? Stop the spread. If you get the vaccine, you're going to protect me. The CDC says that isn't true. That isn't censored though.
It's not.
I could go and say,
public
look,
info. It's a government source. It's public info.
but you're missing the point, Eric. If I say the vaccine doesn't protect everybody, and the vaccine isn't going to stop the spread, I'm going to get flagged.
Because you're not a scientist.
But
no, because
I'm not in support of it.
Yeah, there's
now,
an agenda
now if
behind
I
it.
say the vaccine will 100% protect you from spreading it, is that true? No.
I'm not a scientist. I can't prove that.
It's not true.
But there's no fact.
It's-
There are no.
The data. The point is
this
that
whole
they.
pandemic is a theory. Everything is a theory. Nothing in this whole
Everything's
pandemic
made up.
Everything is a theory. There are no facts in this.
So
whatever the CDC says, it's not factual because there are no facts.
And it's
in
changed
this whole-
over time.
Changes every week.
It's changed. So
It's been a year. It's only been a year.
Well, Eric, my point
It's
is,
only been a year.
if you support the vaccine and the information isn't factual, they're not flagging it. They're not censoring that. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's the bias of censorship. It's not the bias of
kids
opinion.
The vaccine's not ready for kids, so what's in it that kids can't take? Kids aren't as susceptible to it.
So they don't need it.
Like that doesn't make sense to me.
But now they have.
Are their immune systems better than ours as children?
But now they have to get it to go to school.
Yeah. So again,
it just doesn't. It just a lot of it doesn't.
It just doesn't make sense.
Whatever's in the
Because
vaccine.
you're not a scientist.
No, it's not. It has not.
I'm not talking about like what's in the vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
talking about this.
What
whole
surrounds the
pandemic.
vaccine and how it's promoted
No, just the
and
pandemic
information.
period.
Yeah.
This whole pandemic doesn't make sense.
it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It does not.
There's no
make
Well,
sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to us,
To me, it
but
does, in my point of view.
to the agenda, it makes sense.
What doesn't make sense about the pandemic for you?
First
when
of
you say
all,
that?
there was a airborne fatal illness.
Yeah, that's happened before in history. Happened 100 years
So
ago.
why aren't we using this as warfare, chemical warfare then?
Why isn't it used as chemical
If you
warfare?
can't stop the spread of this, it's airborne. It
Yeah.
can stay on surfaces for 2 days.
Yeah.
Don't you think they would have been spreading that everywhere, like anthrax? Like,
Who's
okay,
they?
Well,
whoever they was throwing anthrax around.
And then think about this,
I don't
Eric.
know.
This
I don't
again.
know.
This is just common sense stuff.
That part doesn't make
They
sense.
told people to wear gloves, right? They told people to wear gloves. If I'm wearing gloves, right, and I unknowingly touch something with COVID, I don't know that thing had COVID on it. If I touch a bag, if I touch another product and I put it down, then I infected that product with COVID, correct? So then,
You don't know.
well, that's what they exactly.
You gotta have data to support
That's
your
what
theory.
this-
And that's
You're
what we're talking about.
hypothesizing right
But they
now.
were telling people.
This is what the
Say that.
CDC.
This is what they
This is-
said.
this is what they
They
said.
said you need to wear gloves.
I don't fully trust the CDC. I only trust what I have, and I can make a determination about. I didn't go to, the CDC did not influence my decision to be vaccinated. Some people are letting that happen for them. That's
Yeah.
what
So what we're saying, Eric, is there are things that they have been telling us that doesn't make common sense.
So turn off the TV. Just
Oh,
change
I don't-
the channel.
oh, I'm-
That's what I'm
oh,
saying.
I-
Change the
I-
channel.
I'm not listening
Make
to
a
it.
Determination. People can't critically think for themselves.
Exactly. That's our
Because-
point. That's
but
our point.
That doesn't determine censorship for that person. That's just something that the media just kicks in. That's what they're doing. Like they censored the president, bro. Twitter kicked off the president. The president's trying to get back on Twitter. But does that affect-
Why?
Which is scary.
Because of misinformation. They feel it's misinformation.
Which is scary that they can do that when we have these certain rights.
No. You don't have any rights. Once you sign up for something and it's a free account, your rights go out the window. Once you read the terms and conditions, the rights are gone. That's it, out of here. If you got vaccinated, it said on the card, hey, we're not responsible for this or this,
I'm sure people have said way worse on Twitter.
But here's my thing:
they didn't get flagged for it.
Is it misinformation when one side says it?
Exactly.
That's my thing. It's this whole censorship thing has been one sided. I'm not even talking about politically. I'm talking about if you agree with us, and this is the problem with society today, and a lot of stuff that's going on. We're at a point now where certain movements and certain agendas, if you don't agree with us, we're going to make society make you think you're crazy. And we're going to censor you because you don't agree with us and you're not pushing it. Right? The stuff Dave Chappelle was talking about. It went from we want to be equal. We want to have equal rights. We want to be able to be treated fairly. I'm for that. Because of your lifestyle, you shouldn't be bullied. You shouldn't be you should be able to do things like a normal person, whether I agree with your lifestyle or not. Right? I'm for that. If you are qualified to do a job, you should get hired for it. You should be promoted accordingly.
That's equality.
That's equality. I'm talking equality of opportunity and fair treatment, regardless of your political stance, how you live, whether you're gay, straight, trans, whatever. Okay, that was what they were fighting for. Now it's become, if you don't agree with this lifestyle, then there's something wrong with you, and you're this and you're that, and you should be punished for it. Okay, all right, now that's a little
worse. You should be punished for stuff you did 10 years, 15 years ago.
Yeah. So my thing, and then now I went from that to, we're gonna put this we're gonna push this on everybody, and we're gonna start educating people about it, and we're gonna start accepting that I can decide what I am depending on the day of the week.
Freedom of speech. That's a right, right?
I'm talking about, you have the right to do that, correct. However, if I don't agree with that, then you're persecuted.
Right.
Yeah, you shouldn't endanger somebody's life of it, but by all means, you can speak up.
You can do that stuff. You can do and you can say whatever, as long as it's legal. But my issue is when there's no agreement, if you're not pushing it, then you're being persecuted. Right? So that's my problem, Eric. It's one-sided. And I'm telling you what's going to happen, and it's already happening, because people who don't agree with it, they're afraid this is how you know it's having an effect. They're afraid to speak up. There are people who they don't want to say that they're not vaccinated. Because why? Because the media has made it seem like you're a hero for getting vaccinated. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not a hero for getting vaccinated. You're not.
And it's all a marketing.
So now if you don't get vaccinated, what's the opposite of a hero? Now you're a villain.
To me, another thing is too, like, people who are vaccinated, why are you so concerned about, if you have so much faith in the vaccination to put this in your body, what are you worried about? You got the vaccine. You got the golden ticket. Why are you concerned about anybody or anything else who has you should be skipping around singing the fun song from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You have the golden ticket. You got the answer. You got the solution.
They're the most fearful people, and they have it.
That's another thing that
future life is good.
It doesn't make sensational.
That doesn't make sense to me either. Like if you got it,
I still gotta wear a mask.
What about herd immunity that the CDC was talking about? If so many people get it and overcome it, then we're gonna create this herd immunity because we're just gonna pretty much evolve. Like I don't know, bro. It just don't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
But if you got it, you got it. Like, I don't care.
I don't care if you don't.
I don't.
I don't care if you don't.
I don't.
Good for you.
Exactly.
But it's not that black and white when you got, like you said, a one-sided agenda. Like, dog, I built proposals for Moderna for this push of vaccination. In the proposal, I was instructed to include minorities, like to say, hey, look at these African Americans, look at these Latinos that are getting vaccinated. You should too, because it's going to protect your community.
Exactly. And look,
come on, man, you can't, I lived it. There's an agenda behind this.
Yes. And
Moderna, Pfizer, freaking billion-dollar companies. If I post on Instagram and just say vaccine, there's a blurb that's going to come up to say COVID information. That's one-sided.
It is.
it's clear. It's just common sense.
It's so obvious. And again, like you said, and this podcast is going in a direction that we didn't plan, but we're just gonna keep talking about it. It is what it is. We're gonna end in the next like 10, 15. But they're targeting specifically minorities because, and again, let's use common sense. Who have they said has been affected the most by it? Minorities. African Americans. Now, whether that's real data or not, whatever. Let's say it is real, right? What have they said is going to make it tougher for you to survive COVID if you have underlying conditions, which African Americans have a higher percentage.
Which is just a fact in life.
If you
common sense.
Sick and you get something else.
If you don't eat right, if you don't exercise, you're not going to live a pretty clean and healthy life.
Right.
We all agree on that.
And then if you don't have access to the perfect
healthcare, yep.
Of course, when you get sick, you're going to become sicker because you can't go to the best doctors. So
it's cyclical. Like everything is.
That's a big word.
It is. Okay. But yeah,
how you spell that?
CYCLICAO. Come on, man. You know I'm spelling bee champ. 6th grade.
I need some of my listeners to fact check that. I need some of my listeners to fact check that.
I'm just keeping it. I'm not trying to flex on nobody.
Okay.
I could have made it to the script spelling bee.
It's not a flex. It's just a given. Vaccine isn't a flex. It's just a given. It's a flex. You can go this way.
Oh, it's a flex now.
It is a flex. It's a brag. What are we doing?
I think it's because it's a flex. We live in a capitalist country.
Why are you
because it's getting this way? Because
I
haven't heard it like this in any other country like that. They're like, get this. Help everybody. That's the way they've kind of pushed it to everybody globally.
Yes.
Well, that is.
But we're behind because we got off on the wrong foot in March 13, 2020.
We're behind on what?
Our third world countries.
March 13, 2020 is when everybody realized, oh, it's real. It's here now. And there's no plan for it. There's no action for it. What are we supposed to do? Who do we believe? Who do we turn to? And that's where it became one-sided because people, when fearful, will just hop on anything.
Well, what are we behind on though? Because we created the vaccine. Mm-hmm. America created the vaccine. American companies created the vaccine for the world. So I don't think we're behind because we're a capitalist country. We're not just taking stuff at surface.
This virus isn't new, in my opinion.
You said it isn't new?
Yeah, this has been here before. We've known about.
No, it's on the Lysol can.
Exactly.
It's on the Lysol.
Exactly. This isn't new, dog. This is there's a population control agenda behind this, in my opinion. If I get flagged,
I don't think it's population control because somebody dies every 15 seconds on Earth. From something. What I want to know is what's that number of how many people died in the last 15 seconds versus people who died in
who
that's the information I'm
the
waiting
number
for.
Hasn't changed though.
But Eric, again, this
death toll has stayed the same. It incrementally increases year over year over year. And last 2019 to 2020 to 2021, same difference.
Who's been pushing overpopulation of the earth? One side. We're too populated. There's too many people. Data shows we're not having as many kids as we were in the past. That is a fact. We aren't. And violence is higher.
I think it's because of money. That's why people aren't.
It's always because of money.
So what about third world countries? Is COVID as bad in these third world countries that don't have the healthcare system?
We won't know that.
I gotta see the data. I gotta see the numbers. I gotta see what's reported.
I know that they're.
You won't see the numbers.
You can look it up right now. You can look up per state who got COVID yesterday.
No, he's talking about in third world countries.
Third world countries.
You can look up right now.
Who don't have access to all that.
The ones who report, you can look up the numbers. Yes, you can do that.
You can, but if I go on Instagram, you're not going to see that.
That's where I have
Andrew, you
say that, but
do
you actually follow through?
Do you still have communication with people in Africa?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Oh man,
Africa's a big place, man. You gotta be specific, dog.
I mean, like I'm talking about
Africa's huge, bro.
No, I'm talking about his people in Africa.
Yeah, no, dang, they don't got that much info on it. For real.
This is what I heard. I heard there are people who have gone to Africa because I did some business with somebody from Africa, part-time stuff for a little bit, and
we gotta wrap up soon.
Yeah, we got like 5-10 minutes. He
said 5 minutes.
People went to recently went to Africa. No one was wearing masks. No one was social distancing. And no one is getting. People aren't getting sick like that.
Yeah, like that. That's are they sick out? Like
the first initial, dude, Ghana was like one of the last countries to even
have a case.
Yeah, but I haven't like when my mom speaks to them, they're not talking like it's crazy down here. They're shutting stuff down. You know, like we're talking. You know, show this card.
It's really
everybody. They're living normal life, right?
It's really not.
Are people like dying in waves?
No, not like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just one place.
That's one place.
That's not all of Africa.
That's
not all of Africa. You gotta be specific.
That's one place.
You gotta be specific.
But here's my point. And here's my point. They are pushing this stuff more in Western countries, countries that are predominantly controlled by white people. Canada, Australia, the UK, and the US have the most
cases.
Have had the most. Have had the most. What's the word I'm looking for? Mine's going blank. Mandates and law regulations. That's what regulations for this, right? Going back to the black community thing that we were talking about, guys. All right, what is the root cause of what's causing the deaths of COVID? It is underlying conditions. They're not promoting get healthier so your body is prepared to fight this thing.
Why would they?
Because they're not going to make money. It's simple. Why do doctors prescribe medicine versus change of lifestyle? Because they get money.
Thank you.
It's simple. It's not hard.
What the health?
People who are enforcing mandates, those are businesses. The people who enforce the mandate where you get fined on a business, that's the Department of Labor. It ties back to money. It's capitalism.
Yes. Yeah. That's been my whole point, this whole podcast.
But that agenda spurs from that. The only way the media keeps reporting on it is because it makes them money.
But
that story going.
It's capitalism. But it's not, honestly, it's elitism more than it's capitalism. Because,
one and the same.
Because,
one and the same, bro.
Well, not necessarily, because capitalism is about freedom. Here's what capitalism is.
Supposed to be.
Capitalism is, I'm going to choose what I want to pay for a product or service, and
free market.
It's not going to be regulated.
Free market.
Capitalism has gotten a bad rap because people have abused it at certain levels. Capitalism is good for people for the greater good of society when you really look at the core of it and the purpose of it.
I think you got to look at a country that isn't a capitalist country, and it's not going to be the same result.
Well, we're the only country that is built this way.
I think we're the biggest country. We're not the only one.
We're the only country who's founded on the system that's why people come to America. There isn't another country who has the type of government, the type of constitution.
We're unique in that, yeah.
So, and capitalism plays a big part in that. Like, socialism is the government has control over doing things, whether it's for the greater good of the people or not. I'll give you an example.
All the mandates.
And Iran's an extreme example, but one of my vice presidents at one of my past companies, grandfather was very wealthy. The government said, we're going to take the top 50 people's wealth in this country, and we're going to take it. And there's nothing you can do about it. So,
yeah.
Let's wrap up, man. That went down another path. But the main message is, use common sense. Use common sense.
Do your own research.
And don't be a virtue signaler of, I reposted, I did this, so now I feel good about myself. Like, do what's best for you and keep it at that. In closing, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so want to be mindful of that. We have some apparel that's aligned to that. Shout out to anybody who's dealt with breast cancer, has had family members affected or died. And then RIP to a family friend, man, Aaron Wiggins. Unfortunate situation that happened this week. So prayers to his family and
no doubt.
You
know about that, Eric?
Wishing the best on anyone involved. But y'all have a blessed week, man. Y'all know what it is. Clock in, and appreciate y'all support. See you next week.
Clock in. Clock in.